Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Now, this morning, Fresh 92.7 has announced our newest project, Fresh Jobs, aimed at helping young South Australians kickstart their career. Now, joining us is none other than the Premier of South Australia, the Honourable Stephen Marshall. Good morning.
Thanks, Sana, and thanks to Fresh 92.7 for this massively important initiative, getting young people into jobs. I can't think of anything more important at the moment, so massive congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we've launched, of course, the Fresh Jobs project this morning because more young South Australians are currently looking for work than in any other state. What are some of the challenges facing SA at the moment?
Well, obviously the coronavirus is affecting the entire world, but here in South Australia, we're probably doing better than most other parts of the country, most other parts of the world. So obviously one of the things that we're really keen to do is to get young people into work. You're quite right. Our youth unemployment rate's hovering up above 15%. That's way too high. We want to get as many people into employment as possible. One of the things that we are doing is trying to really lean into the opportunity around apprenticeships and traineeships. And they can be in trade areas, but also in digital areas and a whole pile of other areas that lead to long-term jobs. So a big focus on that at the moment.
Now, you just mentioned that the youth unemployment rate is very high. What are some of the challenges that are facing young people in particular when it comes to finding work?
I suppose the biggest challenge for young people is just getting their first foot in the door, their first job. At the moment, when we look at those stats, we've got more jobs on offer in South Australia than ever before. More than 20,000 jobs are unfilled at the moment. I suppose the big issue is just trying to get kids, young people, whether they're in school or whether they finish school, to get that first job, get that foot on the ladder to make their career moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for this project, we've teamed up with a number of businesses across SA who we know are looking for talented workers. How many jobs are out there at the moment and which sectors are hiring the most?
Yeah, look, there's massive opportunities in sectors like construction at the moment because there's a booming sort of construction sector at the moment. We're also seeing lots and lots of jobs in the digital space with companies like Accenture, Google coming to South Australia, also Amazon Web Services recently. So if you're studying hard, you're getting some good IT skills, I think there's a fantastic future for you. Lots of jobs in the caring sector in South Australia, working in aged care, disability care, and of course the massive shipbuilding program going on down in my beloved Port Adelaide.
Yes.
Just thought I'd drop that in there.
We'll
my
get to that
beloved
in a
Port
second.
Adelaide, where they're building those frigates and those submarines. So, look, there's lots of job offers out there at the moment. I suppose it's about young people working out, what do I want to do? What's the career that I want? And making sure, if you set your goals, I reckon South Australia's a pretty good place to be at the moment in terms of finding that career that you want.
Now, before we get into the port chat, because it is coming, I can feel it.
Don't worry, it will.
I feel it in the air. Obviously, this is all part of a broader strategy. What else is the government doing to help get South Australians working?
Oh, the major thing that we're doing at the moment is really, really leaning in and investing in infrastructure builds at the moment. Roads, hospitals, schools, $16.7 billion. It's by far the largest in the history of the world. And that really freaks a lot of people out. They think, how are we going to pay for this? But to be quite honest, interest rates are the lowest they've ever been. I mean, we've been borrowing money sometimes below 1%. And so it's really important that we can take this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, to invest in projects which are going to really transform our state. So as I said, schools, hospitals, roads, infrastructure that we've needed for a long time. So it's a little bit messy out on the roads at the moment with so many projects underway at the same time, but they're going to flow through the system. And then when they're finished, fantastic opportunities for us to move around the state really easily.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. I love to hear that final siren on Saturday night as
It
well.
was fantastic.
How good was that win, eh?
Well, a lot of depressed people in my office this morning, let me tell you, but not me. I'm very, very happy. It's a good win, sitting in the top three, of course, Port Adelaide, and I tell you what, there's some fantastic performances out there from the young guys, but also look at Boak. How amazing was he?
Three-time Showdown medalist now. Absolutely incredible leader, much like yourself, Mr. Marshall. Now, buttering him up.
Oh,
now,
look at this. You are laying it on thick, mate.
I might be getting a government job after this. No, I wanted to ask, obviously the prison bar, there was such a big debate and you know, there was a bit of butting heads with the AFL and, of course, Eddie Maguire. What did you think about the boys putting on the prison bars to sing the song in the change room? There's been a lot said about that since.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I grew up going down to Albert and watching the Magpies play, seeing the likes of Bucky Cunningham and Russell Ebert and all those great stars of the past. So, I mean, to me, that is Port Adelaide. It's a club that started in 1870. 1870. The prison bar at Guernsey has been a big part of our history. I thought it was fantastic. Of course, the AFL, or should we say the VFL, masquerading as the AFL, they want to be out there telling us what we should be doing in South Australia. How could this possibly have any effect on Collingwood whatsoever?
Yeah.
The game is not even in their state. We're not asking to wear it every single match, but those showdowns, very important to us in South Australia. We love our history at Port Adelaide. I'd love to see them play in it. Come on, Gillen.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Eddie.
Yeah, look, I'm a bit out of my depth in this chat, but I am down for sticking it to Victorians and particularly Eddie Maguire. So I'm on board. I'm on board. Thank you so much for joining us, Premier Stephen Marshall.
It's great to be in. And again, thank you very much to Fresh 92.7. Great initiative. And I think people should get on board. It's fantastic. Well done.
Freshjobs.com.au, our brand new project, which we have launched this morning. Thank you very much for joining us again, Mr. Premier.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.